ability, which makes reading, holding a book, or turning a page difficult or impossible. The content is copyrighted by the respective publishers. For more information, please visit us on the web at nfradioreading.org.
Hello, this is Marge Lauber, and for the next hour, I'll be reading from the current issue, which is April 24th issue of the Tribune Sentinel covering Niagara County and Grand Island on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Well, at Alcott, they have Alcott Lobster Company is opening in Lewiston, their Lewiston location on May 1st, which is tomorrow. Or today. Well, anyway, October Lobster Company is opening, it's tomorrow, Friday, May 1st in Lewiston, and we're beyond excited, proprietor Michelle Pazante said Tuesday. This has been a labor of love, and we're just so excited to finally be able to open our doors. Last fall, Pazantes announced an expansion of the popular Alcott Lobster Company into the village of Lewiston. Pazantes and her brother Kevin Tomasula will operate the restaurant at 755 Center Street. It was formerly the Lewiston Stonehouse. So she said, we made a lot of changes in here. We replaced the bar top. We totally reconfigured the back of the bar, the kitchen. We've had a lot of plumbing and inspections and pre-opening things that we had to take care of. One thing that's not changing is the new restaurant's approach to its main marine crustacean. We focus solely on lobster rolls, not whole lobster dinners, not seafood boils, not clam bakes. We are a lobster roll plate, she said. She explained, I started with a premise, like I do with all of my food, that I like to go what I consider to be the best, and then try to make it even better. We are big mariners. We go all the time for years. We're up in Kennebunkport. We love our lobster rolls, so we travel for them, just like a lot of our customers do. They were going to be the plateau we would try to hit in terms of the best in the country, and what could I do to make them better? So the freshness of the lobsters is a key point, really. Fresh clawed knuckle meat. Everybody loves it. It's sweet, and it's perfect for lobster rolls. The little side things that we do totally make them stand out. It's using clarified butter. Our split New England-style Brichot rolls also have a little sweetness to them, and they're dense enough to be able to withstand the butter. And it together just makes a fantastic roll. I think that's what resonates with people, is that not only do we have the options like our surf and turf, our Alcott fire roll, our flights, really. Nobody in Western New York is doing lobster roll flights. That's because that became our claim to fame. The signature dish includes a Connecticut roll with 5 ounces of warm buttery lobster, a New England roll, which is cold roll mixed with light mayo, celery, onion seasonings, and the Alcott fire roll. We're also going to be adding on a new addition here, which is our California roll, mixed with avocado and wasabi cream. She said, we're still having to have tater tots. We're still going to have our house-made chips, she said. Other choices include fresh coconut fried shrimp, smash burgers on a Brichot roll, or go gluten-free, and a classic Caesar salad. Posante said that the price point per person ordering a lobster roll is about $30. Rolls are $26 and flights $42. You really are hard-pressed to find a lobster roll in Maine for less than $30, she said. And Alcott and soon Lewiston, they're healthy. Anybody that comes to know us knows that we're not cheap with the lobster. Other than that, everything else is going to be very moderately priced. Beyond the food, we'll have live music on Monday night, Bazante said. We're also going to have an industry night on Monday nights because a lot of people are off of work. So anybody in the restaurant, bar, or food service industry that wants to come in will have specials for them. Then she added, every Monday night, we'll have live music for Slow Spokes, that's the bicycle people, and for our industry night. Every other Saturday, we'll have a full-size band, and on the off weekends, we'll have a duo or solo act, whether it's on Friday or a Sunday. So we'll definitely have our fair share of live music here. Happy hour is set from 4 to 6 p.m. Monday through Thursday, with a bonus ladies' night each Wednesday. We have a craft cocktail menu, Pazante said, with fresh juices, Dehydrated fruits, very fresh, and a little bit more on the creative end. That's on top of our slushies and beer and wine. We have a 17 tap system going on here, and we're going to have a cold brew option. We're really excited about that. So Alcott Lobster Company in Lewiston also plans to debut a Sunday brunch starting on Mother's Day, which is May 10th. I was on to emphasize that we'll always be a Lobster Shack vibe. Counter service place. This was our largest location, which means that we have the largest kitchen to be able to operate off of. So we have the flexibility to be able to do a little bit more here. We still want to keep our same simple core menu that is about lobster rolls. We are able to add on a couple additional items here, like lobster mac and cheese, and we have the equipment here, and we're able to do it. And in other news, the Welsh issues statement on Ellicott Development Plaza Plan. Berg offers additional details on Town Village project at Red Brick. So, prior to Monday's Village of Lewiston Monthly Board meeting, Mayor Ann Welsh addressed the recent public response to Ellicott Development's plans for building number 3 inside its Lewiston Plaza, namely, the possibility that the street-level space will be leased to national chain Ace Hardwares. Before we get started tonight, I'd like to briefly address the recent discussion in our community regarding the possible tenant at 780 Center Street, Welsh said. The recent Historic Preservation and Planning Commission application is for a proposed exterior change to enclose the existing drive-through lane, not the section of any future tenant. Well, there's been a lot of public conversation about a potential future occupant. The village does not have the authority to approve or deny specific businesses, provided the use is permitted under our zoning code. Hence, we have numerous restaurants, bakeries, real estate offices, drugstores, coffee shops, banks, and retail shops, which all do well. People have a choice of what businesses they want to support. As for Warren's, the village's locally owned hardware store, it seems like they have many faithful customers that will continue to support them. We understand that residents care deeply about our village and its future. At the same time, reinvestment in existing buildings, especially those that may otherwise remain vacant or underutilized, helps strengthen our local economy, supports a tax base that funds essential services, and can improve convenience for residents by bringing additional goods and services closer to home. It can also draw more people into the village, which benefits our broader business community. We appreciate the community's engagement and continued support, and this is not on our agenda tonight, and therefore not open for discussion. So, Trustees, Treasurer Stephanie Longwell, and Town of Lewiston Councilman Bill Berg provided additional details regarding a project to replace windows on the red brick municipal building gymnasium at the basement level and to repair them on the first and second floors. Longwell said at the Town of Lewiston Board meeting last week, Monday, the Town Board approved to pay the 2026 electric bills to free up already budgeted money for the village to have the windows on the first and second floor repaired. They also approved to pay up to $80,000 to redo all 24 windows in the basement, which is the recreation department. That's great, Welsh said. We thank you very much, she told Berg. And an appropriate expenditure and a good opportunity to use these funds, Berg said. Recreation can use it down there, Recreation Department Director Brendan McDermott said. Berg said he expected replacement of the 24 gymnasium windows to cost about $65,000. On the first and second floors, the windows are in relatively good shape, he said. They just need some adjustments and some repairs. So you'll be saving a lot of money there. There's going to be a time of material discussion as each window is evaluated. Some windows might take 2 minutes. Some might take half an hour. Some windows might need anything. So the DPW also sets paving sites looking for water leaks. And the Department of Public Works Superintendent Anthony Mang shared his department's 2026 milling and paving targets. The DPW intends to resurface Water Street from the south dead end to Onondaga Street, Cayuga Street, and Pottage Road, to North 9th Street and Seneca Street from Pottage Road to the dead end at the daycare. Meg said that once the times and dates are finalized, notification letters will be sent out to affected businesses and residents. He also noted that the DPW completed its annual water quality report, and there's some good news and some bad news. The former, we have no contaminations or anything like that for our water quality for 2025. The later, it looks like we have a significant water loss within the system. Meg said the loss is likely due to a series of small leaks, which will be identified by the New York Rural Water Association. We pay a fee every year, so we're going to utilize our services and try to pinpoint some of these locations, he said. And then in other news, there's a pickleball update. Welsh said she's spoken with Lewis and Porter Youth Football and Cheer, and the recent plan for pickleball courts at Richard F. Solari Park at the Spoils Plateau will be tweaked to accommodate space needs for each group. Courts will now be lined up in a row parallel to the roadway instead of stacked. The town of Lewiston is seeking Greenway money to fund this project. And then there were some other agendas that were approved. A request from the Niagara Falls Country Club for Skylighters of Western New York to set off fireworks in the window of 9:30 to 11 p.m. May 30th to celebrate the NFCC's 125th anniversary. And then also to accept the resignation of Jillian Stokes as a member of the Historic Preservation Commission and to appoint James Baptiste, now an alternate, to a permanent post, and he will fill Stokes' unexpired term to June 2029. And then there's a facilities use request made by Baron Harden Productions for use of Academy Park and the band shell from noon to 11 p.m. to host concerts on June 13th, July 17th, and August 16th. We have some churches in Grand Island, and St. Timothy's Lutheran Church, it's an evangelical Lutheran church. It's on 1453 Staley Road, and the doors open for Sunday school at 9:30. There's a Bible Presbyterian Church on Love Road, just off of Beaver Island Parkway, and they have Sunday worship for everybody at 9:30. Bible Fellowship Center, which is on Baseline Road, 1136 Baseline Road. They have a regular service at Bible Fellowship at 8:30 and 10:15. There's a Cross River Tabernacle, which is at 2920 Grand Island Road, Boulevard. And there's Sunday morning worship services at 10 a.m. And then there's also the Trinity Church Grand Island, which is at 2100 Whitehaven Road in Grand Island. And they have informal worship Sundays at 8, worship Sundays at 10. And in other news, we have some Grand Island Memorial Library. Hours are from 9:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Tuesday, Thursday, and 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Friday to Saturday. The library is closed on Sunday and Monday. And the Friends of the Grand Island Memorial Library will hold a donated book sale. Planned events include a general sale, which runs from 5 to 8 p.m. That already was. I forgot we're on the older side of things here. So let's go into some other news. There's some missing links. Grand Island Boulevard Board votes to end sidewalk gaps on the boulevard. So pedestrians face a gap-toothed sidewalk system along a half-mile stretch of Grand Island Boulevard. From Burger King to Chateau Motor Lodge, some businesses have sidewalks and others don't. The town board voted Monday to force businesses to fill those gaps or pay the town to do it. So council member Jose Garcia cited the need for safety and public access in his resolution requiring businesses to install and conduct sidewalks along that section of the boulevard. The corridor, which is between 1700 and 1810 Grand Island Boulevard, lacks continuous sidewalk infrastructures, creating hazardous conditions for pedestrians, the resolution said. Property owners within that strip who don't have sidewalks will be required to install, construct, or connect sidewalks along their frontage. If businesses don't comply within the town's specific time frame, the town may undertake the work and charge the respective property owners according to the newly passed resolution. Some new businesses have recently constructed sidewalks along the half-mile strip, But among the established businesses, there's no uniformity. Former town board candidate Wayne West asked the board, how come we came up with all those numbers? How did we come up with all those numbers? Of the 123 locations at Grand Island Boulevard, how did we narrow down to addresses between 1700 and 1810? Deputy Supervisor Tom Gisotti answered, and he said it's because Burger King has a portion of a path. Then there are now two new businesses, the car wash and the new building. They had to put new sidewalks in that nowhere to go. And we stopped at the motel because when you get to the motel, there's acres and acres of vacant land. So that's why we stopped there. In West End, most of Grand Island Boulevard does not have sidewalks. The code does not say that it's the responsibility of the owner to place in sidewalks. So I'm just kind of curious of how we picked that particular section. It takes about a minute to drive the length of the boulevard and about 6 minutes to walk it, according to Google Maps. Included between the two endpoints are certified auto brokers, a plaza fronted by Exquisite Eats, Taco Bell, the Paquin, One Stop Car Wash, We'll Find Automobile Repair and Towing, Century 21 Northeast, Wavelengths Hair Design, Island Aesthetics, The Art of Dog, and Grand Island Physical Therapy. We are listening to a reading of articles and features from the Tribune Sentinel covering Niagara County and Grand Island on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. So in another news, the Town of Niagara update, Virtuoso provides details on Military Road, new businesses, and summer celebrations by Sylvia Virtuoso, who is the supervisor. I think she said, thanks to Josh Maloney and the Tribune for featuring the Town of Niagara in this week's edition. The Military Road sewer construction is complete, but unfortunately, there's another sewer collapse further down toward Viola's that the town's going to have to repair. More traffic issues, but hopefully not as long or difficult. We truly wish we didn't have this problem. We have no other option but to repair it. As inconvenient and extremely costly as it is, again, it is required. In the past 2 years, there have been many projects proposed to the town. Currently, there are 9 different housing projects to include apartments, townhouses, single-family homes, a complex of apartments fully handicapped adaptable. If they all come to fruition, which I hope they do, our census will increase and we will receive more share of sales tax, which is dispersed by population. We have recently welcomed a few new businesses, including Niagara Flex, Bison Turf, the Flavor Factory Cannabis Dispensary. Looking to the future, a full-day service daycare center, Niagara Area Hyundai, Chase Bank, medical offices, additional flex units, a landscape nursery, and more than that. We are not ready to disclose it, but extremely hopeful will also be in our town, so we can share that great news soon. We are always grateful for our local businesses, old and new, that contribute to our community and are great partners with the town. Please support all our local businesses. Music Mania Mondays starts June 29th. The 4th of July celebration will be on July 5th with fireworks, some new bands, some favorites, but always a great way to start your Monday night. Tune into Facebook on Monday, May 18th for the official lineup announcement. America and Niagara County are celebrating their 250th anniversary in 2026. Legislator McKimmey presented the town with a county flag which flies at Town Hall, and 20 more will be joining the town flags on Packard Road by Memorial Day until the 4th of July. The 250 American flags will be at each of the flower pots on Military Road and fly alongside but higher than our town flag at the Cannon Corner Garden area. We are encouraging all the businesses on Military Road to fly a flag at your business, and the homes and businesses on Packard Road to do the same. Let's welcome everyone to town in the most patriotic way. Support our troops with a God Bless Our Troops sign, courtesy of Cooper Signs and Old Glory flag, and they're available to display in your windows for free at Cooper Sign. Highway will be paving and repairing. With the long and harsh winter damage, picking up brush, etc., please be patient as this work is done. And she said an additional playground has been added to Veterans Memorial Community Playground. More fun for the children to enjoy, and a tribute to our longtime police chief. And lastly, I want to share that our town is one of 6 municipalities that is assessed at 100%, and we are the lowest county tax rate in Niagara County. Let's continue the great strides we have made on cleanup, safety, and being good neighbors. And I'm wishing everyone a warm and fun-filled summer. And that's Sylvia Virtuoso, who is the supervisor. So, Old Glory Flag and Banner distributes free Old God Bless Our Troops posters. Here we go. Old Flag and Glory Banner press release and graphic. Old Glory Flag and Banner is proud to announce a community initiative offering free God Bless Our Troops posters to residents and businesses. This effort is intended to show visible, unified support for service members deployed from Niagara Falls Air Reserve Station. As members of the Niagara community continue to serve overseas and away from home, Old Glory Flag and Banner is encouraging neighbors to display the posters in windows, storefronts, and public spaces as a symbol of appreciation, solidarity, and respect. We want our deployed troops to know their community stands firmly behind them, Jennifer Cooper, owner of Old Glory Flag and Banner, a division of Cooper Signs, says, these posters are a simple but powerful way for residents to express gratitude and remind families here at home that their sacrifices are recognized. The posters are available at no cost and can be picked up directly at the company's Porter Road location during regular business hours while supplies last. The initiative reflects Old Glory's Flag and Banner's ongoing commitment to patriotism, community engagement, and support for the armed forces. And then in other news, the town of Niagara is taking action on properties, junkyards. 4 properties in the town of Niagara will be either repaired or demolished in the coming months after officials declare them unfit at their regular business meeting. The properties include 3002 Rhode Island Avenue, 3488 Rhode Island Avenue, 6321 Edgewood Drive, and 6701 Elsa Place. Supervisor Sylvia Virtuoso and Town Attorney Michael Rusman said these properties have been documented as needing repairs since at least 2024. The meeting served as a hearing for all 4 properties. Rusman noted all but one of the owners did not attend and believe this waived any legal objections that they had to the resolution. The owner of the properties now have up to June 1st to repair or to demolish their properties. 4 junkyards were also awarded license renewals, with some concern was brought up in the work session held by town officials on Wednesday, April 15th. Since then, Virtuoso said 4 junkyards, Garlock's Auto Incorporated, Metallico, Cox Auto Service, and Zantarian Auto, have been contacted and did what was requested to remain in compliance. Another business, George's Towing, still needs to do some more. They started out right, but still need to remove a lot of trucks, including a very large storage container on their property, he said. The annual special use permit renewal request was tabled for the time being. And in other news, the town of Niagara will no longer be paying the Oakwood Cemetery Associates $5,000 annually to bury residents unable to procure their own burial on a piece of land the town owns within the cemetery. The town board voted to not renew the lease with the association at its meeting Tuesday. The last time a resident was buried there was in 2007. Virtuoso noted that the work session that if anyone does die within the town without means, Niagara County cremates those individuals. Okay, and around the town of Niagara, we're going to learn more about the court system, cemetery, and the senior programs, and road work. So, nestled within the municipal complex at 7105 Lockport Road, the town of Niagara's court system plays a quiet but essential role in maintaining order, fairness, and accessibility to justice for local residents. Serving as a town court within Niagara County, the court handles a wide range of cases that directly affects everyday life. These include small claims, disputes, traffic violations, and misdemeanor cases, and preliminary hearings, matter that often represent a resident's first interaction with the legal system. Operating at the local level allows the court to provide more immediate and accessible judicial services compared to larger centralized courts. Residents can resolve issues close to home, reinforcing the town of Niagara's commitment to community-based government. So the town of Niagara itself is a suburban community adjacent to the city of Niagara Falls, governed by an elected official and town council, within a population that includes families, workers, and a notable number of veterans. The town reflects a diverse cross-section of Western New York life. And accessibility and public service, conveniently located within Town Hall. The court is part of a broader network of municipal services available to residents, including administrative offices and public safety departments. The centralization helps streamline services such as paying fines, assessing records, and attending hearings. And then there's tours available at Whitmer Cemetery. Well, between Memorial Day and Labor Day, Whitmer Cemetery will offer self-guided tours as part of the 250 Tombstone Trail in Niagara and Erie counties. Pick up a flyer by the gate at the stone pillars and take a stroll through the historic burial grounds on Whitmer Road. It is located between Hyde Park Boulevard and the traffic light at the rear entrance to Niagara University. Learn about the 12 veterans who now call Whitmer Cemetery their forever home. Each of the soldiers' graves will be marked and numbered to correspond with the flyer. The cemetery was established on the farm of Abraham Whitmer, who settled here just prior to the War of 1812. It began as a family graveyard. It has enlarged over the years and opened to the public. Restoration is ongoing with the addition of a perennial garden and benches along the Columbine. It is beautifully maintained by the town's Parks Department. And the town of Niagara offers a columbarium for cremated burials at Whitmer Cemetery. Each niche can contain up to 2 cremations. And for further information, you could contact the town clerk. And then they're having an Easter celebration. Next news, the town of Niagara's annual Easter egg hunt. It had been held on the 28th. And there were more than 80 kids who were there. That sounds pretty good. So, and the highway department is still combating winter, as they are everywhere. I know if you've been out driving anywhere, you don't have anybody drive you or anything, but a lot of potholes every place. So we have started to pick up brush from the Niagara neighbors and will continue until November. Leaf pickup ended when the snow started this past December, and we will not pick up leaves until fall. Any leaves that were left out from 2025 will be bagged and disposed of by the owner. Please do not mix leaves and brush in the same piles, as we will not be able to pick them up. With the severity of this winter, we are seeing more damage on the roads throughout Western New York, huh? What I tell you. Weather permitting, we're starting to make repairs to the roads, and it's coming along very slow. Please be patient. You must drive cautiously and slowly anytime you see a crew working on the roads. And let's get into some little bit of a different news here. There's a cost-effective curb appeal boosters. One shouldn't judge a book by its cover. However, that often is hard to do, so particularly when it comes to homes. Curb appeal bears significant influence regarding how a property is perceived. A property that is neat and aesthetically appealing probably will be preferable to one that looks like the homeowner did not maintain it. Boosting curb appeal is a common focus of sellers before listing a property. But what can those who don't have big budgets for major overhauls do to improve their curb appeal? Well, they can refresh their front door. Painting the front door can add brightness and improve the look of a home's entryway. Most exterior paints cost about $30 to $40 a gallon, so it's a budget-friendly improvement. If money allows, replacing the door altogether will generate bang for your buck. Then you can also improve or you can add landscaping elements. Landscaping should be designed to highlight the home's best features. It should look symmetrical and feel manicured. If it's not possible to plant new flowers or bushes, simply clean up debris and weeds, and trimming existing greenery can make it feel neater and more polished. You can clean up, you can power wash the siding, cement walkways, and garage door can create instant impact. It's amazing how much dirt and mildew can reduce the luster of a home. Cleaning off years of grime can be a fast and expensive refresh. And then you can reseal the driveway. Make sure the driveway is clean and tidy. If it has cracks or discoloration, filling in cracks and applying a new coat of sealer will make a big difference. You could add more porch lighting. Updating front porch lights and accent lights around the property will cast a more positive glow on a home. You can add a seating area if the space by the front door allows. Add a bench or some chairs to create a welcoming seating area. And spring is a season in nature's rebirth. Trees and flowers begin to bloom anew each spring, and young animals will be seen frolicking with their parents. And as the days lengthen and the weather warms, spring cleaning takes their central stage and is extensive. More than simply washing away grime, is cleaning a home often offers a psychological reset for the coming months. A clear strategy can make the task of cleaning feel less daunting. So you can declutter before you clean. The rule of thumb when starting on spring cleaning is to combat clutter first. Try to clean around clutter. It's inefficient and may result in throwing in the towel prematurely. It's important to remove as much as possible from each room before you begin cleaning, and then move from top to bottom. It's important to follow the rules of science when spring cleaning. That means that dust and debris will be affected by gravity. Engaging in a top-notch approach will help make cleaning more efficient, beginning at the ceiling and working down towards the floors. You can also do a kitchen reset. You can focus attention on the kitchen, which tends to be the busiest room in the house. It is a wise idea for spring cleaning plans. This is a time for individuals to pull everything out of the refrigerator or pantry and check for expiration dates. Whipping down the shelves means clearing away any accumulated food drips or spills. And then you can focus on your air quality. It's a key to replace the HVAC system filters come springtime, as well as any air purifiers in the house. You're listening to a reading of articles and features from the Tribune Sentinel, covering Niagara County and Grand Island on the Niagara Frontier Reader Reading Service. And then there's 5 ideas to repurpose a formal dining room. Well, a traditional formal dining room are not necessarily as they were a generation or two ago. A recent study by Realtor.com found formal dining rooms are often the most underutilized square footage in homes, and a significant percentage of millennial and Generation Z homeowners prefer flexible lifestyle rooms over dining space. So what can homeowners whose dining room tables are covered in mail or the kids' homework do to repurpose the space? They can make it a lounge. Those who enjoy hosting friends or family without sitting down to formal dinners may appreciate transforming the dining space into a cocktail lounge. Swapping the dining room table and chairs for low swivel chairs around a coffee table or high back bar stools around bar tables easily converts the seating space. You can make it a library. Homeowners can create a digital detox zone by way of a cozy library. A timeless choice, a library can feature floor-to-ceiling bookshelves or built-ins and comfortable reading chairs stationed by a window. Then you can make it a music space. Homeowners who play an instrument may appreciate a designated place for jam sessions. Dining rooms with high ceilings and bare floors often provide excellent acoustics for music. You can make it a home office. A hybrid work is a permanent fixture in today's career landscape, and a dining room located near the front of the house presents a prime location for a professional workspace. You could also make it a homework zone. Active families may need to transform the dining room into a homework lab that offers a quiet space for educational pursuits. Often organized cabinetry can house school materials, craft supplies, and much more, confining it all to one room. Sounds pretty good. In other news, Kahana Habit, passionate about family and food. The Kahana Habit, I'll be honest with you, food has always brought a lot of happiness to me, cooking. What I said, you're bringing people together, and I've always been good. When COVID hit, Thorjay considered getting a food trailer. However, he learned such an enterprise requires a commissary kitchen, and in 2020, nobody was keeping their kitchens open, so everything was closing because of the pandemic, he said. So Thorjay was presented an opportunity to take over a space in Saunders Settlement Road that had served typical Western New York fare, including pizza and wings. He paired that with his own Mediterranean dishes and quickly found success. Unfortunately, with the storm that happened in July of 21, it was a storm of 100 years. We got flooded, Thorjay said. We were the lowest point of the entire street in the parking lot of Dave's Last Chance. We had about 15 to 18 inches of water that plummeted in through the front door, literally through the front door, and destroyed our cooking equipment, destroyed the dining room, and destroyed everything. So we were forced to have to shut down only a short time, every short months, every successful months of being in business and testing the concept. But that small run gave us enough confidence and enough proof that we have something here, that the product that we produce, the way that we put it together, is something that people want. Gotta Have It would relocate on its current site at 2117 Military Road. Today, the restaurant excels at providing that Sorgi called a diverse menu. Part of it is Palestine cuisine at its best because we're full-blooded Palestinian Christians from Nazareth, he said. It's beef kebab, it's falafel, it's 7-spice chicken marinated in homemade yogurt, the falafel and the hummus and the baba ganoush and the leibniz, all that stuff really came from our part of the world. So just growing up on it, it's not something I ever really saw out there. And when I did see it out there, I know how excited it made me. So that's kind of what stayed in my head. He noted, if you look at our menu, you'll notice we can get those core 4 proteins, including a gyro, in a volume of different options. You can get it in a rice bowl, a salad, a pita wrap, a platter, and an Indian taco or on a pizza. Then part of the menu includes hearty pizzas, large chicken wings, chicken fingers, pizza logs, and fries. Managing a large menu, Sorgi said, all comes down to our process behind the scenes, the way that we prep the food. Honestly, the love and the passion that goes behind it. So if you come in and you order something as simple as I want to say a cheeseburger, well, when you come to Gotta Have It, you're not going to get a cheeseburger. You're going to get a freshly ground sirloin tip, prime rib and prime rib fat that you grind in the back, hand pressed into a burger on a nice toasted Costanzo's bun. Anything that we do, growing up the way we grew up, we take a lot of pride in homemade. We take a lot of pride in doing things from scratch. That's why we make our yogurt from scratch. That's why we make the tzatziki, and then we all marinate our chicken in. We do all of these things because we know, number one, how bad the world has gotten in regards to ultra-processed foods. You know, growing up this way with the whole foods has taught me the value of that, and now I'm able to instill that in my kids. And then second, it's just everything tastes better. It feels better. You feel better even talking about it. Speaking of all the feels, Sorgi noted a special kitchen connection to his late grandmother, Wajaha. She meant a lot to me, and she's definitely one of the big driving factors behind this too, he said. When I cook, you know what's funny? I have a tattoo of my grandmother on my left forearm, and the falafeler that I use when I drop falafels is hers, and I drop it with my left hand, so that brings me a little joy. When I'm cooking with her ingredients. To know that I'm still using her tools that she has given me that are over 60 to 70 years old. There's a lot of love and sentiment in it. And then in the news, there's a Memorial Medical Center receives the Healthy Equity Innovation Award. The Niagara Falls Memorial Medical Center was awarded $29,973 Healthy and Equity Innovation Award from Univera Healthcare to launch Navigate and Nourish, a new initiative connecting mental health clients with SNAP benefits and evidence-based dietary education. The program will be delivered in partnership with our Cornell Cooperative Extension, which will provide nutrition workshops and individualized dietary guidance to help clients build healthier habits and strengthen the connection between food, wellness, and mental health. This funding allows us to expand access to SNAP benefits and provide comprehensive dietary education to individuals receiving mental health services at Niagara Falls Memorial Medical Center, said Caitlin Cummings, Director of Outpatient Behavioral Health. Access to nutritious food plays a vital role in overall well-being, particularly for those managing mental health conditions. Through this initiative, we aim to strengthen the connection between nutrition and mental health through targeted support, education, and advocacy. So then 50 years ago, which was April 28th, 1976, River Oaks is bustling with activity these days as the first units of Phase 1 are nearing completion. Everything is right on schedule. We'll open the landings in June, just as we planned, said Andre Sarlet, president of WR Enterprises Incorporated. All 26 units in Phase 1 of the landings are located at a site on the west side of East River Road, facing the northwest corner of the golf course. Mr. Sarret said that the townhomes will be in groups of 4 and 5 and will include several one-story buildings, units, along with the popular two-story dwellings. The 2 and 3 bedroom townhomes having their own basement, private patio, and 1 or 2 car attached garages. Then 10 years ago, which was April 29, 2016, on Saturday, April 23rd, the Grand Island Rhinos U17 Boys Soccer Club participated in the annual cleanup effort for the Buffalo Niagara Riverkeeper Spring Shoreline Sweep, the largest single-day shoreline cleanup in western New York. Targeting shoreline sites, hundreds of volunteers come out to engage in direct citizen action that makes the community a better place and reconnects the public with the region's most valued asset, the water. Led by GIHS senior Cam Smith, the team this year concentrated its efforts at Spicer Creek and was able to collect a lot of garbage and recyclables. Last year, the Rhinos participated in the shoreline sweep at Buckhorn State Park. The $60,977,971 approved budget represents a 4.93% increase over the total 2015-16 budget. And then this week also we had the Citizen of the Year Awards. Chamber thanks Thermo Fisher. The Great Island Chamber of Commerce is celebrating its 50th annual Citizen of the Year Award dinner. And they already had that. It was on April 28th. And the tickets, I guess, were $50. Wow. So anyway, Thermo Fisher was being a good sponsor of the gold anniversary of the Citizen of the Year. And the Citizen of the Year, let's see. This week's winner, the Grand 50th anniversary, it doesn't say who the Citizen of the Year is. Picture and Love, Chamber Vice President. There were no correct callers this week. Oh, it doesn't say who the Citizen of the Year is, but they had the award. And there's a Niagara County Upward Niagara Chamber Shine Spotlight on America 250. So Niagara County legislator Michael Giselle, Irene Myers, and David Godfrey joined Upward Niagara Chamber President Amanda Hazley in presenting special American 250 flags to area businesses and municipalities on Monday morning. Almost 3 years ago, in June of 2023, the Niagara County legislature established the Niagara America 250 Committee, and that committee is headed by Bob Emerson of Fort Niagara. Our own Irene Myers, legislator from Youngstown, and Rich Andrews from the Niagara County legislature. Casale said from inside the Upward Niagara Chamber office of Central Street at Academy Park. They put that committee together because they knew that the 250th birthday was coming, and they wanted to make sure that the Niagara County put together a number of recognition-type events, and we celebrate it well. Godfrey, a Vietnam veteran, said, "You go right through history and all the wars that we've had, the engagements we've had over the years, and the men and women that sacrificed their lives for what we have here today. 250 years to celebrate a birthday that literally was paid for in blood over the years. So when we think about 250 and celebrate a birthday and all the wonderful things about our country, let's remember those that have paid the sacrifice for us." Meyer said, "We're really proud of the flags and glad everybody could be here." She noted, "Put August 1st on your calendar because that's our big 250th celebration, that we were able to secure a drone show as opposed to fireworks. We thought we would try something different, and we were able to secure a drone show. We have that information out to everyone soon. Businesses and organizations receiving the flag." There's a lot of them all around the town. Okay, here's some real help for your health. This is presented by Dr. Glenda Rose, who's a chiropractor. She said, spring is time to cleanse. So, living in our modern world, we are challenged to maintain good health in a toxic environment. From the air we breathe, the foods we eat, and the water we drink, our environment is polluted with toxic gases, excessive waste, harmful chemicals, and radiation. These pollutants can enter our bodies through our lungs, digestive tract, and even our skin. Inside, our bodies produce toxic substances as waste products of normal metabolism. These waste materials are generated every day and need to be eliminated if we are to remain healthy. Our bodies have built-in waste removal systems that we rely on to eliminate the bulk of these irritants where they have a chance to build up and cause problems. So the liver, the gastrointestinal tract, the kidneys, the skin, and lymphatic system are actively engaged in ridding the body of harmful toxins, regardless of their origin. Many plants contain nutrients that support the body's natural efforts to remove toxins and other waste materials. They can help the body cleanse itself naturally from the inside out. So now that spring is here, increase your consumption of fresh green vegetables, beets, and other root vegetables. If you are tired, have chronic pain, weight loss challenges, poor digestion, or just want a safe, natural way to cleanse your body, we can help. And that's Rose Chiropractic PC, and she's located at 435 Ridge Street in Lewiston. So there's a thing called Way to Go Tours Incorporated. They have motor coach trips. And if you're interested, on June 9th to 11th, they're going to Frankenmuth and Greenfield Village. Then on June 15th, it's a Rhinestone Cowgirls. And July 9th, it's at Rochester by Amtrak, but they have a wait list for that one. July 14th, John Denver at Walters Theater. And June 28th, they're going to Skinny Atlas Lake. On September 3rd, to Conewago Valley for the Amish. Then on the 17th to October 3rd, the Heart of Europe tour. That's Oktoberfest in Munich. This is the Way to Go tours. So October 17th, they're having Christmas in the Woods. And November 18th, the Neil Diamond Story at the Bigman Theater. And then Tours with Coletti on September 16th to the 22nd, they're going to South Dakota. October 11th to 23rd, they're going to Scotland and Ireland. November 1st to 9th, America's 250th anniversary. Then on March 11th, 21st to the 27th, Ancient Greece Wonderful Mother and Father's Day gift certificate. So all these here are tours if you want to go on them. And I just wanted to tell you something really funny. I have Robin has been trying to nest on top of my light right outside my door. And every day I go out and there's more nest building stuff on top of the light. So I've been taking it and throwing it out every single day. And this robin just stands there and looks at me. Well, yesterday I went online and it said to take aluminum foil and put it up there, and they don't like hot peppers. So I happen to have some hot banana peppers. And I put some foil up there and some hot banana peppers on, and guess what? Today was the first day in 2 weeks that they have not tried to build their nest. But that robin was squawking. She was really mad at me. Well, there's in the pet place, the SPCA Pet of the Month is Chelsea. She's a terrier pit mix, female, tan and white, 7 to 9 days old, 7 years, 9 days old. And she's the cutest little thing. Oh my God, she looks like she's smiling. She's got little floppy ears, and she's white and brown. And she's just looking at the picture. And she's up for adoption if you're looking for a dog to adopt. She's a cutie. So in Niagara County, they have a office for the aging, and tomorrow they're going to have a turkey and grape salad and hearty vegetable soup with crackers, seasoned Brussels sprouts, half a wheat pita, and cinnamon sliced pears. So all the lunches, that are served, they have 1% milk, coffee, or tea, and then if the suggested contribution is $3.25, so it's a pretty good deal. And then on the Island Golden Age Center lunch menu, on Friday, May 1st, which is tomorrow, the lunch includes an entree with a meat, starch, vegetable, fruit, dessert, and beverage. And the birthday lunch includes an entree with a meat, starch, vegetable, fruit, and a birthday cake, ice cream, and dessert. Two soups and a scoop includes 2 soups and a scoop of salad, like chicken salad, fruit crackers, and dessert. And the lunch there is $4 or $6 or more on special events days. So if you want to get out and get something to eat, prices aren't too bad. More notifications here. Let's see. These are things that happened around town. The following activity occurred Monday, April 13th to Sunday, April 19th, as reported by the Lewiston Police Department. So on April 13th, at the 2200 block of Saunders Settlement Road School District Assist officer was initiated. The LPD assisted school district with a situation involving a student. And then on the Niagara Scenic Parkway on Monday, April 13th, there was a Parkway South animal complaint. A caller reported a groundhog on the roadway, the animal waving its hands in the air after being struck by a vehicle. Waving his hands in the air. In Lockport, Ransomville Roads traffic complaint, officer initiated. A caller reported 3 dirt bikes operating on the roadway. Officer located the juvenile drivers. Subjects are released to their parents. And then LPD patrol activity calls officer initiated. Vehicle traffic stops for motor vehicle violations. 2 drivers cited with 4 unknown traffic tickets, uniform traffic tickets, for Lewiston Town Court. Then on the 14th, on the 1300 block of Ridge Road in Lewiston, there was a disturbance, but it wasn't domestic. Patrol advised an individual on proper court etiquette, subject to waiting to ride outside of the building. Eagle circling Monte Eagle Trail. Campus security reported a black Mercury driving erratically. Vehicle located. LPD cited driver for passing vehicle on the right, driving while ability impaired by drugs, and driving with ability impaired by drugs. Accident related. And then the Lewiston Police Department patrol activity calls officer initiated. Vehicle traffic stops for motor vehicle violations. 6 drivers were cited with 10 uniform traffic tickets issued. Then on Wednesday the 15th, the 1800 block of Swan Road, they stopped a vehicle. The driver warned by patrol for swerving into oncoming traffic lane to avoid potholes. I can see that. I do that all the time. Settlement Road, 911 caller reported a 3-vehicle accident. Officers are on the scene. Statements were taken from drivers and witnesses and no injuries. The 200 block of Mount Hope and road harassment. 911 caller reported being chased by a female driver and another vehicle. Ongoing issues. Officers advised both drivers to avoid contact with each other. 700 block of Center Street, suspicious activity. A caller reported an unknown male removed a fishing pole from nearby bushes. So now the subjects are looking into their vehicles. And then the police department activity calls officer initiated. The vehicle traffic stops for motor violations, and 2 drivers were cited. Then on the 16th, on Thursday, 700 block of Center Street, callers reported 2 adults listed as parents left an older white RV with 2 juveniles. Callers said the male seemed intoxicated, but was not driving the vehicle. And Harold Swan Roads, officer initiated. Patrol stopped to assist a juvenile see walking in the rain. Courtesy ride provided to a parent's home. How nice. In the 1900 block of Saunders Settlement Road, a caller reported hearing a loud beeping noise in the area for the past 5 days. Patrols reported a constant ringing heard in the backyard of a residence, but could not determine a source. So the complaint referred to a state DEC officer. And then, let's see, on the 17th, at the Lewiston Queenston Bridge Plaza, the officer initiated patrol on location for commercial vehicle inspections. And Dickinsonville Langdon Roads, 911 call from an in-car satellite reported a 2-vehicle accident. Patrol found said accident involved 1 vehicle. Driver said he swerved to avoid a deer, which resulted in the vehicle losing its right front passenger tire. The driver then lost control of the vehicle, entered a ditch, and struck a concrete driveway culvert headward before coming to a rest on the front lawn, but nobody was injured. And then officer was initiated walk-in complaint. Juvenile was sold a vaping product, and that was a no-no. Caller reported an unknown party had access to a family member's social security and driver's license information. The party was using said information for a vehicle purchase in South Carolina. And then another one, on Saturday the 18th, Hewitt Drive Assist Public. Patrol reported a walk-in complaint. Party served fraudulent paperwork, and a report was taken. At the 100 block of South 4th Street, a fire. 911 caller reported smoke in the kitchen of a rental property. Patrols and fire company responded. On the 600 block of Cayuga Drive, 911 caller said a child aged 8 to 11 years old screamed at him as he approached a door and then pulled out a BB gun. Officers spoke with the subject's parents. The BB gun was unsecured due to a recent flooding at a residence. And then on Sunday, the 19th, at the 700 block of Ridge Road, Assist Public, officer initiated. Patrol's mobile was seen walking roadside. Courtesy ride offered and a male declined. Patrol said the male, it was a male, not a mole, I'm sorry, turned down the ride as a pat-down was requested before entering the vehicle. And then another 911 caller reported 3 gunshots heard in the area. It was fireworks. And that's it for today. I want to thank you all for listening. You've been listening to a reading of articles and features from the current issues of the Tribune Sentinel covering Niagara County and Grand Island. We read from the Tribune Sentinel every Saturday at 4 p.m. Your reader has been Marge Lauber. I thank you for listening, and everybody have a great day.
Coming up next in the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, we have the Lockport Union Sun and Journal. Following that at 6 o'clock is the Jamestown Post Journal. And at 7 o'clock, we have the Niagara Falls Review. Stay with us for these readings and more. If you or people you know shop at any of the Dash's supermarkets, please save Dash's register tapes for radio reading. Our agency receives $2 for every $100 in Dash's register tapes. Radio reading has raised thousands of dollars so far. Anyone can drop off their Dash's tapes to the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service at 1199 Harlem Road, Cheektowaga, between William and Clinton Streets. Or Dash's tapes can be mailed to the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service at 1199 Harlem Road, Cheektowaga, New York, 14227. Any questions on Dash's tapes for radio reading? Call us at 716-821-5555, and thanks for caring. The following program is intended for listeners who are blind, have low vision, or have another print disability, which makes